What's better than fantasy football? Kyle Fridland, Jake Fridland.
Ain't nothing better than football.
Two brothers talking about the nitty and gritty of the best sport in the world. Welcome to the Fantasy Simpletons Show!
Woo.
Here we are back at it again. Another episode of the Fantasy Simpletons. We got lots to talk about here today. How you doing today, Jake?
Doing well. Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. We got Thanksgiving coming up soon.
We do. That's exciting.
Yeah, you're coming over in a couple days. It should be really fun.
Yeah. No, it's always a great time filled with family and cheer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you sound like a Hallmark commercial.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. It should be fun though. It's always a good time.
Yeah. We're going to go over just basically anything we want to talk about that happened in this last week or just in general for fantasy football. I actually wanted to start off with something in particular. I wanted to talk about this Brandon Ayuk situation. And I'd like to know your thoughts on it as well, Jake. So for anybody that doesn't know, Brandon Ayuk, who signed a massive contract extension last year, I believe it was 4 years, $120 million. There was this whole big drama of like, does he even want to play for the team anymore? The team wants to trade him. He didn't really want to be traded. And then they signed him to an extension because they were trying to make a Super Bowl run. Then he played really bad. He hurt his knee. He's been gone this whole time. But the big news that came out this last couple of days is that they voided all of the guaranteed money in his contract for this upcoming season for 2026 because he failed. Yeah, because he failed to follow contract obligations. He kept missing team practices. He wasn't showing up to the facility. Is he even going to be on the team next season?
Right.
Because I don't know. I have no clue.
Dude. It's a sticky situation for both sides. And I don't know. They've been without him for so long, but their team is also not great right now.
No.
So, it sucks. I think
No.
I've heard some rumors that, he might want to go to the Commanders to be with
Debo?
with Debo and I guess yeah. Debo, and there's another guy that he knows on the Commanders. But
Dude, I'm not so sure. This feels like one of those decisions where I don't know what the thought process is with him.
yeah.
Because I remember hearing last season that he thought a lot about when the actual trade situations were happening, and they were giving him everything he wanted. They were giving him the big contract extension, and he was looking originally to go to New England, and he's like, oh, I don't want to play for New England. And then they almost made a deal work with the Steelers, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to really go to the Steelers either. And he essentially came out in an interview and said, it got to a point where I kind of overdid it, where I thought I wanted a certain thing, but then I realized I didn't want that thing. And what I actually wanted was to be paid and be on the same team. He wanted his cake and to eat it too. This feels like a similar situation of he got everything he wanted and he's still not happy. So I feel bad for the Niners in this situation. Usually I don't feel bad for a football team, but this guy, he put him through the ringer, finally got the money he wanted. He's not contributing. He's not helping. He's probably going to be off the team. And I think when he retires, he's going to look back at this and he's going to think, that was one of the biggest mistakes in my career.
Yeah.
Was I found a way to screw myself out of $26 million that were guaranteed as long as I just showed up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know. It sucks. I kind of feel bad for Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot on him to think about now that all this stuff's coming out, and it's just tough.
Dude, what are you thinking? What is some of the stuff you want to talk about for this upcoming week?
Dude, I well, I want to talk about Shadur. That was one of the
You
things.
want to talk about Shador? Ooh,
Yeah, just because that
yeah.
news has come out, and we've been kind of tracking it a little bit. Like, is Shadur going to be the guy? I know you have Dylan Gabriel on one of your teams. I have on one of your fantasy teams.
I don't think I even have him anymore.
Oh, you don't?
I think I cut him. I think I cut him in
That
my
ship
like
sailed.
deep dynasty. Yeah,
Fair enough. I still have Dylan and Shadur on a deep, deep dynasty league.
dude.
Um, but honestly, I just wanted to see what we had out of both of them. We kind of saw what Dylan Gabriel could do, the few games that he started. And now they're giving Shadur a chance, which we all expected that they would
Yeah,
sometime this
they
season.
had really no choice.
Yeah. And now he's actually starting over Dylan Gabriel this next game that they're gonna play. Um, the Thanksgiving game, I guess. Well, it's not on Thanksgiving, but weekend. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to talk about like what you saw because I know you watched that game, right?
I watched it
A little bit.
a good so here's what it was. It was a mixed bag of a game.
Hmm.
He there were a couple throws that he made that were a couple like deep shot throws where it's like, "Oh, okay. He can play football. He can make a couple good
Yeah,
throws in certain situations. He's got some abilities.
right.
He had a bad pick in the game.
He
It
did.
feels
It was pretty
I
bad.
mean, if for a tune-up game going up against the JV squad in the Las Vegas Raiders,
Hmm.
that's pretty good for him. But can I say it was a great game? Probably not. What I can say is he did make NFL history. He's the first ever
Yes.
Cleveland Browns rookie
Yeah,
to win
that's what
in
I
his
was gonna
first
say.
ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
which that actually is saying something. Knowing how many rookies have come and gone on the Cleveland Browns over the last 2 to 3 decades.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, granted, it was against you know, a two-win team.
Fired Chip Kelly. They
Fired
fired
Chip
Chip Kelly
Kelly
today.
after this game. Yeah,
Yeah.
they fired him. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I respect that they're giving him a chance. Kevin Stefanski, as much as the media portrays him as hating Shador, it looks like he
Mm.
does not like him. I don't know. I respect that he's giving him a fair shot to kind of see what he could do. And if anything, if neither of these guys work out, they have a chance at getting someone in the draft next year. So
Yeah.
I think it just makes sense to see what you have out of Shadur, you know, because he really does have that big playability that I think Dylan Gabriel does not have. Um,
Here,
so
here's the thing with Shador though. He's on a mission. This is not simply just playing to play the game. He knows in his mind if he wants to be a shot at a star next season, he needs to win football games
yeah,
to sort of almost begrudgingly force the team to go with him next
right,
year. Because if they win football games, they're going to be out of good draft contention. And unless they want to bring someone in, like, say, if they wanted to trade for Kyler Murray or something in the offseason, then they're going to have to look into the next year and be like, okay, maybe we'll bring in a guy to compete with Shador, but then they won't really have anyone else to go to. That's at least how I look at it. He's playing to win
yeah.
to keep his job.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if he does well, then they got a cheap quarterback, in this last draft, and then they can go out and get some extra weapons or whatever they need to help their offense. So because their defense is great. It's one of the best defenses in the league.
And
Now it's just refining their offense, and I think they could actually be a good team if
he's
they get
still
it going.
Sanders. He's still going to have his same cockiness. I mean,
Oh
if you
yeah,
saw that post game interview where he's like,
I saw it.
"Yeah, we did pretty good off of 1 week of practice.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine a whole off season," is what he said.
I know. I saw him walking out too, and he like stopped right before he walked out. And yeah, he did the thing, dude. But honestly, you know, props to him because it in his position doing that, it takes a lot of guts, I feel like, and the people love it. I just think the fans honestly love it, bro. I would if he was on the Seahawks. I mean, come on, Kyle.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
kind
I don't know. I don't know if I would say that.
of.
I
I
don't know
would
if I
love
would
it.
necessarily want the Trump. Here's the difference. There's a difference between Seahawks fans and Browns fans. What the Browns have been given the last 20 to 30 years is a little different than what most franchises have been given. At this point, you want anything as a Browns fan. You're
Mm,
you're, look, you're looking for little things. When Shador made that big pass, that like 50-yard bomb that was completed,
yeah,
Miles Garrett had a
Isaiah
look
Bond.
of shock. He had a look of pure shock. It's like, oh my gosh, a quarterback actually made a throw on our team.
I mean, yeah, but dude,
Only on the Browns do you
that's
have that reaction.
I guess, but that throw was kind of crazy because he was on the run, running. He was basically almost out of bounds, and he threw the ball with
Yeah.
on the side, um, while he was running away from defenders. So it was. I thought it was a pretty good throw, and they kind of talked about his throwing. The commentators, and you can notice it when you watch him throw, bro. His balls are like they're they're higher thrown, and like I don't know, they're just interesting balls. They have like it looks like they're soft, easy to grab balls, soft touch balls
Oh,
that he throws because they're just high and like graceful in the sky instead of being like bullets, you know? Um so I don't know. I just think he's got an interesting he's got that is interesting to me, like the way he throws, the fact that he can make
yeah.
those big plays. Um I feel like a lot of people just find it different and like, oh, this guy could actually be something if he keeps going. It is really 1 week of practice. Like honestly, when you think about it,
Yeah, he's not
he's hyping
wrong.
himself up a lot, but I mean, he really just does need that time to kind of get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see. I think a lot of people can agree, like trying to do your own thing, like how he does this, is a little forced. But he's not the only young player in the NFL trying to force his own stuff, but can't always back it up. How about Mr. Nine of JJ McCarthy? Do you have any thoughts on
Yeah.
JJ and how he's been playing this
Uh,
season? Oh man, what a star player in the making.
it's all over the place. I don't know, man. I think I think they still need to give him some time to develop.
No, they have to.
Oh yeah, obviously, and they're going to obviously. I mean, not like they aren't, but he it's tough because he really is still a rookie, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like people have these expectations that he's not just because this is his second year, even though he didn't play at all last year. I'm I don't like what I see, but I think that he still has potential, and yeah, for
I don't
dynasty
know.
purposes, I would not roster him though the
I
rest of
think
this year.
I Yeah, I think you can say he has potential. It's just I understand the team's frustration around it. Like the players actively getting frustrated. You can see Justin
Mhm.
Jefferson. He's one short circuit away from losing his mind. And I can see that because for many years this team has always felt
Yeah.
like, oh, we're a win now type of team. We have to compete with our division.
Mhm.
Justin Jefferson has been one of those guys that everybody assumes it's like, oh, it doesn't matter who's under center. He's always going to be great.
Right.
And
Is
here
that
comes
the case?
JJ McCarthy like, hold my beer. I'll test that.
Yeah.
I'll test out that theory. And he's making great players. Just the way his accuracy is just not good. It's not good enough to get to the players,
Hmm.
and that's the biggest issue. If it were close enough, to what we have seen from other quarterbacks. Kyle Shanahan was seen as like this, not Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell. He was seen as this quarterback whisperer. Like
Mm,
everybody he brought in, he did well. So the
yeah,
fact that he,
exactly.
but maybe that's the difference here. It's because all those guys were veterans to some extent,
Yeah,
where
they
they've already
were.
had years under their belt.
Sure, and they were like top round picks in drafts. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously JJ is too, but um, yeah, it it is a tricky situation. And who's their backup? Is it Sam Howell still?
maybe it's definitely not Carson Wentz because he went down for the year. But honestly, I wish Carson Wentz was still healthy and able to play. I can't believe I'm saying that, but at least he got people the ball. At
Yeah.
least he got the offense moving. He has a low ceiling. He wasn't going to win them too many games,
Mm-hmm.
but at least he could actually keep the offense in football games. This team feels like it's the season's kind of lost. When
Yeah.
you're in a division that's as stacked as the Packers and the Lions and the Bears who keep winning games, that happens.
Yeah. Agreed.
Would you be willing to trade like to throw out like a end of round draft pick for JJ? Like would you
Um,
want to trade in Dynasty like a third round pick
dude.
for JJ McCarthy?
Well, it depends on what league I'm in, right? Superflex, I 100% would. I'm in a
Hmm.
pretty deep Superflex league, and there are no quarterbacks on the bench or on the waiver wire. So I would definitely roster him there. In a regular league, I don't know. Maybe
I think you have to
it's
test him out against whatever. You might have to test him out to see if you would spend that pick on him or literally spend that pick on a rookie in next year's draft.
yeah,
Because
I
I
would.
think Jackson Dart in
Mm,
most leagues was like a third round pick.
right. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, like especially because in Dynasty picks always gain value the closer that you get to the draft, right?
Yeah.
Um, so trading a pick away this season, like right now, you know, a little over mid-season, is it? It's tough to do, I think, in my opinion, because you just don't know how well if you trade for players, how well they're actually going to do the rest of the season. But then
Yeah.
I guess that could be an advantage if you give a pick low on someone that ends up doing really well. So I don't know, but I would wait on JJ.
Dude,
It's
I'll
tough.
tell you a player that I really have gotten late on waivers, and I'm glad I did because I could see something in this. Jacoby Brissett.
Dang.
Even though the team hasn't been winning,
Hmm.
statistically or fantasy, man, he's been good, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
He's just being given free reign of like, hey, we're all out of running backs. I think Bam Knight got hurt in this last game too.
Hmm.
So they're just like throw the ball every play.
Yeah.
And it's made it to where Trey McBride is unstoppable right now.
Yep.
Michael Wilson had another game of 10 receptions.
Dude, even Greg Dortch is
Greg
doing
Dortch,
well.
I'm going to have a waiver wire video that's probably releasing around the same time as this video, maybe a few hours later. And I put Greg Dortch under a receiver that you can get in the waiver wire right now for
Yeah.
two games of 6 receptions and a touchdown each.
Yeah. No, I know.
Dude,
It's
it's crazy.
it is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. And dude, honestly, because I picked up Michael Wilson in one of my leagues, right? Before the breakout game, I got kind of lucky because I took a chance on him because I needed to.
Dude, same here.
Dude,
I need him in a league too, and I picked him up.
he's so killer with um Marv out, dude. And honestly, I think it's giving him like there's been talks, uh, you know, in different articles that I've read about him and how they should be using him in the future more because he's been doing so well.
Yeah.
I think he could actually be a consistent fantasy player if they get the right quarterback. Um, it does depend though, because we just don't know what Marvin Harris's um, usage will look like. So he could take over once he gets back.
Dude,
But
he probably will.
yeah,
Maybe Michael Wilson will fall to where like Greg Dortch was, where
mm,
he could still be viable, but not as like crazy high as he is right now.
hmm,
What I think is interesting about this is trying to figure out if Jacoby could be the starter next season, which I've heard some chatter about like, oh, maybe they're in a situation where that's possible.
mm,
Could be. If they win enough games, they'll be out of draft contention for a solid rookie, or at least not one they would trust right away.
hmm,
They're already going to trade away Kyler Murray, so I don't know if they'll bring another guy in. It depends on if he wins games, because in all these performances, yeah, he looks great in defeat, but it's still defeat.
yeah,
So if he goes through the season and they don't win any games, then they'll be like, oh, maybe we keep him on the roster, but he's not like the starter because we actually need a guy that will
hmm.
keep our jobs.
Oh, definitely. At the very least, they should definitely keep him. He's an amazing backup to have,
Dude,
on any team. So
man, I feel Marvin Harrison had the worst time for his appendix to burst. The worst possible timing.
yeah, it would
The,
have
the
been
way
so
we're talking
good
about
for him.
Michael Wilson right now,
Hmm.
if Marvin Harrison was in, I guarantee you the production would be super similar and everybody would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is it. He's
Oh
finally
yeah,
broken out. This is
100%.
it."
Yeah, it really all it takes sometimes is just a simple switch in QB, and
Yeah.
that's so apparent for this team this year.
No, I love it. I until I'm proven otherwise, I'm gonna keep him around. I'm gonna keep playing some of these guys around him.
Yeah, dude. But okay, I was talking to someone about this the other day. W-
Yep.
I'm curious to know your thoughts on it. What do you think about Kyler Murray moving forward? You think because he could get traded, you know,
He's
and
I
be interesting for somebody or
Yeah.
stay on the Cardinals? I don't know.
It's a two-way street. He's definitely I don't th- he's not going to be on the Cardinals.
Hmm.
If they've committed to this, if they made this decision, which I still think the injury is a bit more of a cover up. He could be injured, but I think it's
Hmm.
more than obvious. This is it for him on the Cardinals. He's
Yeah,
going
I
to either
think
get
so.
traded, or if they can't find a good enough trade partner, they'll unfortunately have to cut him
Hmm.
because they're not bringing him back next season as a backup. I don't
Yeah.
think that's really going to work. I don't think he's going to like that. Where he actually goes, it depends on what team looks at what they have in the draft and where they are, and they're like, and they don't want to. Maybe they don't want to invest in some of the guys coming in. Who's that guy like Mendoza
Hmm.
coming into the draft this year?
Hmm.
Maybe some teams are just not in that position, and they just think, you know what? Let's bring in a guy that, at the very least, has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say about a quarterback going into year 8, but it's he has a
But
huge playmaking ability. He can spark something on offense, and maybe it just didn't work with Gannon and his offense. But maybe someone comes in with the right game plan and they're like, I know how to use Kyler Murray. I know what his strengths are. Let's focus on those strengths.
yeah. No, that makes total sense, and I think I could see it happening. There's a lot of need out there for quarterbacks, and I feel like he could be decent on a different team. Um, but he signed a 5-year contract that he's still under till 2028.
Yeah,
So a team would have to pick that up. There's
they
just a
would have to
lot.
pick it up.
There's a lot going
But
on.
we've seen teams make those big cuts if they have to. Look at
Mm,
Russell Wilson.
yeah,
If a team feels like there's no other option, they will cut somebody. I think they should.
sucks.
Hopefully, I think they should find a suitor. They should find somebody that's willing to trade or take
Mhm.
on the contract, because the contract honestly is not as bad today as it
Mm.
was like probably a few years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's something I actually wanted to mention though. Um, this is slightly veering off of fantasy football, but I just want to mention it because I think this is super crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at the playoff picture recently
Mm.
and the teams that are struggling just to barely make the playoffs?
Yeah.
It's all the top teams of last
I
year.
know. The wild cards are pretty, yeah,
It's
they're pretty
the
wild.
Bills, it's the Chiefs, it's the
Hmm.
Ravens, it's the Lions.
Seahawks are in the wild card.
Seahawks are in the wild card.
Dude,
Dude,
it is
after
crazy.
so many years of like the same teams kind of dominating,
Hmm.
and there's still a chance that if they make the playoffs, they could still find a way to do that. But is there a chance of like a changing of the guard here where these teams are coming in and they're just more complete? Like the Patriots, like the
Mm.
Broncos, these teams where you don't look at them as like serious contenders, but maybe you look at them versus the Bills or versus the Chiefs, and you're like, man, these teams are just the more complete teams
Mm.
that don't just solely rely on the quarterback to do everything.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I I think you're right. I think there's been a lot of there's some good defenses out there, right?
Yeah,
Um, um, that have helped teams like the Seahawks. But I think yeah, overall there's been like a lot of teams really have like decent defenses and decent quarterback play, like offensive play, and that's why they're making it pretty far. And so, they have good. A lot of teams have uh what is it, decent records, and
yeah,
it is making it hard to kind of decide. I was thinking about that too because there's like a lot of teams, dude, that can compete to win their conferences, their divisions, and honestly go to the Super Bowl. It's hard for me to decide at this point. I
right
like
now, yeah,
the
this is one of the most
Rams look really good.
unpredictable
Hmm.
at this point in the season. This is one of the most unpredictable years I've seen in a while. Of like,
Same.
yeah, who
Yeah.
is actually going to make the Super Bowl this year?
Right. It's like, yeah, because I'll think of so many teams off the top of my head, and I'm like, I don't know who could beat that team. Like the Rams are so good. The the Colts are so good. The Patriots, dude. All these guys, the Seahawks, like I don't know. It's very competitive. It
But
really
that's what
is.
makes it even more interesting because even the teams that are up at the top, uh, you can almost kind of point to like big weaknesses on those teams
Mm,
too. People keep talking about the Patriots as if like, well, most of their competition has not been too strong because they were one of the worst teams in football last year. They faced a lot of easier teams. So
yeah.
how can they really stack up against the top teams when it's like playoff time?
Hmm.
Or the Broncos. A lot of people, I mean, I've been watching Broncos games. As impressive as their 9-2 season has been, you could see the offense has struggled
Yeah.
a lot at
Right.
times.
Right. That
So
is.
there's this
You're right. Yeah.
so there's this feeling of like, okay, what's actually going to happen when it's big stakes moments
Hmm.
where it's like if Josh Allen does make it to the playoffs, if Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs make it to the playoffs, is that big game energy going to come out again and just find a way to win?
Dude. Yeah. It's definitely possible. No, it makes for an exciting season, and I'm excited to see what the next games hold, man. What the
Yeah.
season will hold. There's so much news always coming out and so many injuries. Speaking of, we kind of cover this because this is kind of a recent thing that happened in last night's game. To a great team, the Buccaneers, dude. Um,
Oh, the Baker Mayfield
Baker
injury.
Mayfield is having he's undergoing some looks, um, some MRIs and scans and whatever. They're like seeing how bad his injury actually is, and that might decide what's going to happen the rest of the season or at least this next game. if he'll start or
And
not. So that was pretty
there
crazy.
there is something interesting to that. Jake, is this the time to trade Egbuka?
No,
You know,
I
I
know.
I I hadn't thought about it all season, but the last few games he hasn't been doing as well. But with this injury, it now
Yeah.
leaves me really worried because like Baker
Yeah.
was the thing that like earlier in the season, Baker was playing so well, and he had this such do or die attitude that
Mhm.
it was causing like genuine MVP vibes, like coming early into the season. But then somewhere along the line, the team just they were starting to lose it. He was starting to crack a little bit. His performances weren't as strong. Um, they've been losing a few games, and even before the injury, they were getting
Mm.
mollywopped by the Rams.
Yeah.
It was not really a close game. So with this Baker Mayfield injury, obviously it's going to affect the kind of everyone in the receivers, the probably even the run game a little bit if they start to lean more on that and the team start to predict that. Um, but no, dude, this is super interesting. And for a team that's do or die, they might not they're not guaranteed to make the playoffs.
Hmm.
All of a sudden the Panthers are a half game behind them
Dude.
after I don't know how that happened,
I
but
don't
now they
either.
have a chance after their incredibly like crazy up and down season
Hmm.
to take the lead to possibly win the division. Bryce Young in the playoffs. Let's freaking go, baby.
Dude, yeah. That's pretty wild. They've looked really well past few games. Yeah, I don't know. It is tough. I would say I'd want to see how Mbuka does with
Mm.
with the backup in, and who even is the backup? Oh, it's Teddy Bridgewater. That's right. He played last night. I do like Teddy Bridgewater though. I will say, kind of like him,
I
bro.
I
He
don't
looks
know.
pretty good.
I don't know how I feel about Teddy Bridgewater these
Really?
days. I it, there he did retire a couple years ago.
Yeah, I might like him just because he's in that commercial. You know that one
The
where
the
he's the
the
backup
backup
one.
QB commercial.
Yeah, it's always kind of funny, but
He's a good veteran,
mm,
but this team had issues before. Like Baker was doing his best to overcome the issues on the team.
mm.
So I don't know if necessarily putting just a veteran in is necessarily going to make
Yeah,
the damage less impactful than what this probably would be if Baker does miss significant time.
true. No, we'll have to see what
And
happens.
and here's the thing, Jake. I'll be honest. Uh, we were trying to figure out who could be a Super Bowl contender. To me, I think the Rams
Dude,
they might be the closest thing to that right now. They seem like
they're
the
so
most
good.
complete team in the league.
Yeah. It it's like well, I mean, we saw them against the Seahawks last week.
Yeah,
They looked insane. Their defense is crazy. Their offense is almost unstoppable. It's
dude,
like
they flattened Sam Darnold like a pancake.
yeah.
He they've got his number. Remember in the playoffs when they played against the Vikings and
Mm,
he had a horrible game. It's the same thing here. Maybe Sean McVay knows how to play against him in a
mhm.
certain way that makes it super easy to scramble his eggs a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's
No, I agree.
I I
Everything's
really
going right for that team.
that was
Really.
a super important game for the Seahawks where we needed to
Mhm,
win that game to like that was a game that should solidify are we legit?
mhm.
Are we one of the top teams? And we still could be, but I want to see that rematch. We get a chance to play them again. I want to see us beat them this time around
Yeah, I do too. It just looks tough. It looks tough.
because
Oh,
Matt Stafford's playing at an MVP level right now.
oh yeah, he's insane. He's got Devonte Smith for those long bombs. He's got and Kyron Williams, dude. What about him? I mean, he's going off this year too.
He's been doing
He's
He's the
doing really well.
best running back that nobody ever mentions ever.
Yes.
He'll be in this exact same. He'll be drafted in the exact same spot next year.
Yeah. Every year it's the same. He's always been that way too.
He's reliable most of the
Yeah.
time.
Most of the time, yeah. But lately he's been great. So I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Are there any other players? Are there any players like you want to talk about from any of your leagues? Any like
Hmm. Yeah.
anything you want to keep up on? Players you want to shine? Players you want to crap on?
I don't know. I got something for you.
Yeah.
Um, I want to know what you think about this trade. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe this could be interesting because this guy that I traded for is in an interesting position, I think. Okay, so basically I'm in a deep dynasty league, right?
Hmm.
And I traded and it's a super flex too. Not that that matters in this trade, but I have 3 first round picks. I traded one of them
Okay.
and a third, okay, for um JMO. All right, Jameson Williams.
Jamison Williams.
And
Whoa.
and I got a 27 second.
Okay.
So,
So you traded a first and a third
mhm,
for Jamison Williams and a second.
yeah.
Okay. I think that's a very interesting trade.
It is. I'll preface this. I don't really have any wide receivers on this team, good ones. Troy Franklin's my best. So,
What was the first rounder?
what was it?
Yeah. Was it like what position
Oh,
could it
might
be?
it be? So, it was I have this guy's first rounder, so I just traded it back to him and it's looking like it could be like 5 or 6.
Oh, okay. So it's still like it's middle to like above average pick.
Yeah, in a 10-man
Okay.
league. So, I don't know.
It
I was
hey,
really high on JMO. I'll tell you this too. So I think JMO moving forward, obviously the Sam Laporta stuff helped his case out a bit. Okay. He's in one of the, if not the most high powered offense in the league, right? Um, and yeah, so I thought Sam Laporta's been out for a few games. JMO's looked so good. I'm like, oh, they're just gonna keep going to JMO, even when he's back, probably. But then this last game, yeah,
big old goose
literally right
egg.
after I traded for him, bro, I played this guy and yeah,
Dude,
got 0 points. It sucked.
I know the frustration too. I have Jamison Williams in like one or two leagues this year. I
Dude,
thought,
he's a
man,
phenomenal player though. That's
I'd
the
been
thing.
waiting all season and he finally started playing well and everything seemed like it was lining up for him to have a good game. And
Yeah.
then you realize, oh wait, he's a boomer bust player. You can never 100% guarantee that he's going to have a great game.
Hmm.
In a game where they had 500 yards of offense, uh he got 3 targets, he had no catches, no points. I will say though, if we're going to talk about certain players, by the way, I actually think that it's a fine trade.
Okay.
That's a pretty like
Long
decent
term,
trade. If
really
he
good.
like continues to pay off on what he has been doing,
Yeah.
then yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
decent trade.
All right.
Hey, I was thinking for so long this season, I drafted Jameer Gibbs in most leagues, second running back drafted, and he was the one I drafted in multiple leagues because
Dude.
I kept
Yeah.
ending up in the middle of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I was like, man, I'm still waiting on those games. I'm still waiting for him to like really make some moves because I believe he's still one of, if not maybe the most talented running back in the league
Yes.
when given all those opportunities. And boy, howdy,
Mm-hmm.
did he pay off this week.
Oh,
Over 200 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, another touchdown through the air, 11 receptions,
dude. That's the thing. He took all of JMO's receptions, probably. Like,
264 total scrimmage yards. He
dude,
was unbelievable.
it was insane.
And this was a week off of not a week off, 2 weeks off of when he had a 3 touchdown performance against the Commanders. So
Yeah.
now he's hot. He's on a hot streak. And now I feel good about myself because it's like, finally, I gave so much to get him and it's finally paying off.
Oh yeah, dude, the last few weeks he's been untouchable. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the number one running back on the season.
Oh,
If he
yeah.
keeps this work up, and I think it is tough because they're about to play some tough teams. They're going into a schedule, they're playing Green Bay this next week, one of the best defenses. Then they play Dallas, actually. That's not too bad. But then
Yeah.
the Rams, and what? That completes like, are there 3 games left on the fantasy football season or what? 2, 3
Um,
in some leagues? I don't
in
even know.
some I mean, let's see. We're in the last like 5 weeks of the year. We're
Hmm.
going into week 13 and week 14, where that's where every team has their week, whether they decide it to be week 13 is their final week and week 14 is a bye, or
Yeah.
these are the last 2 weeks and then you go straight into the playoffs the next week.
Okay, yeah.
So
So,
this is like the do or die time for fantasy teams.
hmm, yeah, so
But
I don't
he's
know,
in
man.
position. He's in position to be the difference maker that he was last season.
It's pretty great.
All right. Let's let's do a rapid like last few players. Very quick on any of them. What are your thoughts on some of them? End of season. Roma Dunze. I'll go. Uh frustrating. And that's it.
Yeah, I'd say that, to say the least.
Okay.
I will
Let's see
say,
any.
I'll say this though.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about Roma Dunze, I think
Roma
DJ
Dunze, yeah.
Moore is probably going to get traded in the
Gosh.
offseason. Think about that. I mean, come on. They
Hey,
don't need him.
deep
They don't need
sleeper
him. They
Luther
got Luther
Burden.
Burton. They got Rome. Anyways,
They really don't. They
they
really
really,
don't need him.
they really don't.
I he was the add-on of when he got the team, but it feels like of all the guys, uh, or who knows, maybe he'll just swerve us all and trade Roman Dunze instead,
Hmm.
and just get rid of him and be like, DJ Moore, you're our guy. Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, who's getting a little better every week, and
Yeah,
I always like to see that.
same here.
Tedero McMillan, don't know how he's going to do tonight, but man, I hope he keeps going. I hope he keeps getting better.
Hmm.
I want these Panthers to just find their stride, which will be tough because they're playing against us and then they're playing against the Rams. So it's not going to be easy. But hey, if the Buccaneers are struggling, the Panthers can make something happen here.
True.
Let's see. Any other players?
Well,
Geno
I got
Smith.
one.
Geno Smith could be
Oh.
like could get an award for the worst quarterback in football this year.
Yeah. Dude, I'll say I agree. I agree. He's terrible. Terrible. He got like what? 6 sacks this last game too. Oh. Um, I'd say John Mechie is the Jets wide receiver one with Garrett Wilson out.
Yeah, dude, how'd that work out for
Statistically.
you?
I know, no, I actually I didn't pick up John Mechie, bro. He was already taken. I had Adonai Mitchell and I started him. It did not
And
work
yeah,
too well.
it didn't work too well. But yeah, Mechie worked out when they
He
got
did.
nobody else. Mechie had a shot.
And he's a good waiver wire ad for those of you that don't have or that need a quarterback or not a quarter. What am I saying? A
A
wide
wide
receiver.
receiver. Yeah, very
Um,
possibly.
because he's on a lot of waivers. So, anyways,
I think it would still be matchup based.
sure.
Whatever he's doing, I'll check to see what they do. But
Tyrod.
final call. Let's see. Anyone else? Travion Henderson. Stevenson came back into the lineup and he took most of the touches. Henderson, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. They're finally listening. They're
Ah,
finally going to start giving him more work.
and it's pretty obvious that that needed to
It
happen.
it needed to happen, and now it's happening. So good on you.
Yeah. I got one.
And I
Xavier
don't know.
Restrepo.
He finally got his first catch in a football game.
Dude, he got like
Good
six
for him.
targets. 6 targets,
He
bro. He
did.
could be the guy.
I mean, they also have Ridley's out for the year, and Io Manor was also out. So
That's right. Yeah, I did.
I'm actually more into Ch- Chip. What's his name? Chimray
Chigakonkwa?
Dyke?
Oh,
No, no,
Jameer
no.
Dyke. Yeah, Jameer Dyke.
Chamir Dyke. Yeah,
He's pretty good.
I'm more into that guy. I like his playmaking style.
Hmm. That
He
touchdown
seems
that he returned. Oof,
he's got good
looked good.
touchdowns. He's definitely a good returner. I think he'll
Yeah,
maybe he's like a Tyler Lockett for them, where he'll slowly
yeah.
evolve his way into becoming their number one receiver.
No, I could see it. He's pretty good and he's consistent. He gets
Yeah,
open, and that's what they need on that team. So,
I'll give a shout out to Cam Ward. This was his first decent game
hmm,
that I've seen of him, probably all season. Like it wasn't perfect by all means, but he didn't quit.
it was competitive. It was good.
He kept going at it. He made a run where it looked like he almost broke his back getting into the end zone, but that's what happens when you're a 1-9 team that desperately wants to be noticed.
Yeah, yeah,
But honestly, I think that's it. I think we
yeah.
covered a good amount of bases there.
Like so, a lot of big trending, you know, player topics and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, Jake. Just fake honesty and genuineness. Just go for the trends.
Yeah, man, dude, it's all about the
That's it.
trends, bro.
It's all about the trends, man.
Yeah, dude.
Watch, Jake. I'm gonna the first. This is gonna be cut down to like 90 seconds, and it's all gonna be fast, furious editing.
Yeah, do it.
It's all what's it all about, man.
Yeah, man. And if you don't have a if you don't if the title of the video isn't like what is that? The word for that?
Hmm? I have
What's
no idea what you're trying to say.
I can't think of it. Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on.
All right. Moving on. Thank you so much for watching today. You can follow us on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, where we release weekly waiver wire stuff for starts and six and flexes. We release videos on YouTube all the time. You can also listen to these in audio versions on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Jake, we are going to go off the air. Anything you want to say before we go off the air?
Clickbait. That's what I meant to say earlier. Anyways,
Clickbait, yes.
yeah,
We're
all
all
about
about
the
that
clickbait.
clickbait here today.
Come on, let's go. But
Come
no,
on.
no, I appreciate you guys. That's about it. Hope that it was entertaining. Anyone that made it this far, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right. Yep. In a complex fantasy world, just remember to stay simple. God bless everyone.
Mhm.